anyways, the point is that it'll ask you to consider those fundamental dimensions of your life and to envision how they would be constructed if you could construct them properly. And then it asks you to write for 20 minutes after you've done that about what your future could be like in 3 to 5 years if it was optimally structured, free writing. And then it asks you to do something that's actually the reverse, which is consider all your inadequacies and weaknesses and stupidities and foolishnesses and imagine what your life would be like if you really let them have the upper hand. So, and everybody I think has some sense of that, you know, because everyone has some sense of how they would go wrong if they were going to go wrong. And it seems to me to be a very useful exercise to allow yourself to envision where you could end up if you didn't get your act together and put things straight. And to me, in some sense, what that means is that you're outlining your own personal heaven and your own personal hell. And it's useful to have both of those because you can run away from what you don't want and you can run towards what you do want, and that's quite motivating. You know, and one of the things I've observed quite regularly in my clinical practice is that people are often loath to make decisions that will cause conflict. You know, so say, especially if they're agreeable people, you know, say that you want to pursue a career path that your parents don't agree with, and it would take a fair bit of, you know, intense negotiation in order to free yourself up so that you could pursue that path. It may be just as easy to let it go from moment to moment because that's conflict free and end up doing something that you're not committed to. Then the question is then, though, where does that take you? And if you have a very, very clear idea of the kind of trouble you can get into by not facing the actual realities of your life, it makes you much more likely to fight for what you need to fight for in the present, because you know, in some sense you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, so you might as well take the chance and struggle for what you want now. And so defining a negative future can also be extremely useful. So plus it's, you know, it's realistic. People's lives fall apart all the time. It's you know, you can expect that your life will fall apart at some point in one way or another. So it's useful at least to prepare yourself so that that doesn't happen any more often than it has to, and that if you're going to engage in conflict and so forth in order to pursue what you want, that you have your rationale straight